Okay, I'm going to be honest, I'm probably the most British person here. I've just gotten back from the pub, I'm soaking wet, as you can see, but there's been some more gacha drama, and well, going to the pub does not change the fact that, you know, there is even more stuff going on online at the moment to do with Saintontas, MrPokke, and Jenazad. Now, the main kind of point of this is, you know, Saintontas, and if you don't know, I can't even pull this up because obviously Twitch kind of gets rid of it. Saintontas actually ended up getting banned on Twitch. Now, obviously, a lot of this is probably for no reason at all. There isn't any obvious clips or anything, you know, pointing towards any kind of actual behavior. And I think a lot of people are alluding to the fact that this could be mass reporting due to some kind of controversy he has been in. Now, obviously, there's this clip on Gacha Please from Drake's Revenge here saying, Saintontas, you're out of line, totally uncalled for. I don't care what beef you got, but this was not a joke. This was said with malicious intent. You can be upset over some dumb stuff, but don't do this again, and you owe Jenna an apology. Now, if you don't know the entire history about this, Saint has been going after MrPokke and Jenazad quite a bit on stream over the past couple of days. Obviously, you know, Saint has never really liked MrPokke for as long as, you know, I can remember, really. And with Jenazad, I think it's like it kind of quieted down, and now it's come back up again, obviously with a lot of different things coming out. Now, yeah, Saint was on stream talking about Jenazad and everything like that, and some previous experiences. I'm not sure exactly what he was mad about at Jenazad, but all we know is that he was making, you know, content on them, and that he was, you know, kind of talking about them at length on stream. Now, this is one of the clips that came from it talking about Jenazad, I'm pretty sure. This is, yeah, again, from Drake's Revenge. Here we go.
No wonder he S6 Rosia.
Which, again, I don't really know what that's about, but pretty much, yeah, he's talking about Jenazad here, and apparently Jenazad was saying that he liked Maygi, which, again, I think is totally fine. If you don't know, there's been some previous drama with Maygi. You can watch my entire video about that if you guys want. But again, you know, he's pretty much alluding to the fact that, you know, he's a PDF, and I feel like that is a little bit uncalled for there. Obviously, I really like Saint. I like the content that he does, but I feel like that is a little bit too far. Obviously, Saint put out a post saying, looks like we've been mass reported on Twitch, everybody, and we have a 7-day ban. A PO has been sent, but I guess it's clear which communities did this. Now, obviously, a lot of people are pointing the finger towards MrPokke, Jenazad, and some people are also pointing the finger towards Maygi as well, because it could be one of those groups. But again, it could be none of them either. Obviously, this person says deserved for implying Jenna was a PDF, and then Saint said, I said he was a fan of Maygi, no wonder he S6'd Roshia. They're both clearly childlike characters, or childlike people, or whatever, you get what I mean. And yeah, I mean, again, I don't really like that comment. I feel like, you know, making comments like that is a little bit weird, especially towards, you know, someone like Jenazad, who has been, you know, quite nice in the community. I feel like maybe they have a kind of different experience with him. But, you know, obviously he's been on Twitter quite a bit. We've got Tectone here with his reaction, with his, you know, palm in his face. So obviously the whole community is kind of live reacting to this right now. It happened literally in, you know, the last couple hours. Obviously, MrPokke also made a tweet like this, which I don't think is very weird. I feel like a lot of people were being like, oh, why did he make a tweet like this? He said, I wanted to make sure that everyone knows I have absolutely nothing to do with Saintontas getting banned. I'm literally clearing my stamina and flags on my phone as I'm on my bed, and my Discord got mass pinged. I have never once brigaded my community nor my viewers to report his sorry excuse of a channel. That's not worth anyone's time. And it said the time of the ban happened when he was reacting to Jenazad's VODs and clips insinuating disgusting things that I keep private unless forced to. And my mods have video evidence of this despite the now deleted clips. If anyone wants to question my innocence, I will show all of the video footage. So again, that is kind of crazy. Obviously, you know, he's reacting to Jenazad's VODs. He was pretty much, you know, insinuating some pretty, you know, horrible things, which I do, you know, understand is very, very inflammatory. And I don't like those comments come from Saint. But, you know, as I said, I do enjoy a lot of the other stuff he puts out, so maybe he can, you know, obviously I know he's a bit heated right now, he's got banned, he's going to be throwing out a lot of stuff towards these content creators, because, you know, I would be mad if I got banned for 7 days too. But again, it is kind of, you know, a bit far to be calling Jenazad this kind of things and insinuating it. Obviously, he didn't actually call him directly, but you know, we can all see he was kind of insinuating it. And yeah, people are saying this is weird with MrPokke, but I think it is important that he clears up this kind of stuff and says, hey, you know, this stuff is going on. It's nothing of my doing, because people could point the finger and say that, hey, oh, this person's brigading, this person's brigading, and I don't think it's anyone brigading. I don't think Jenazad has sent his community out there, MrPokke sent his community out there, Maygi sent her community out there to go and attack Saintontas and mass support them. I feel like this is just something that the fans have done themselves, and this is something that they've done on their own. I feel like none of these people would go that far as to mass support, but hey, we'll probably learn about some more information about this in the future. And obviously, yeah, if you guys want a little bit more context as well, obviously I talked about the context here, you can see recently they've been making a lot of videos on each other. This is the first one MrPokke's made in about 4 months on Saintontas, and obviously Saintontas made a video the other day, I'm pretty sure, 20 hours ago, saying MrPokke ruined his career, which he pretty much talks about a situation when MrPokke actually uploaded a video with misinformation about the Wuthering Waves update, and some of the rewards about that kind of stuff. So again, it was kind of crazy, and, you know, I feel like it was definitely valid. I feel like, you know, to call someone out like that. But obviously with MrPokke, he went and clapped back, you know, very obviously saying goodbye, Saintontas. People were saying that he kind of predicted this happening, which is kind of crazy. But again, it is something that has happened in the community, and that is just a little bit of context behind their relationship and why the finger is kind of being pointed towards those two. Because again, you know, recent events have happened. But again, I do think it is a little bit important to think about the fact that maybe it's neither, you know, maybe, you know, Saintontas was genuinely found of, you know, violating something. It doesn't have to be anything like crazy, you know. Obviously, I'm not saying that he broke like some insane law or something like that. No, it could literally be like, oh, he said, you know, a bad word or something like that, which isn't even considered bad, but Twitch considers it bad. Something like that. Or he could have literally done not even anything like that. You know, he could have literally done something very small that no one would have noticed and could have gotten banned. Or maybe it could have been a completely different group, or it could have been just a kind of error from Twitch's part. But again, we'll have to wait and see, because obviously they do give information on the bans. And, you know, Saint was saying here that he did get mass reported. But again, I don't think their Twitch actually notify you if you get mass reported. And I feel like if you did get mass reported, they wouldn't, you know, ban you in the first place. They should like have indicators to you know, show that. But maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't really know. I don't use Twitch as often as some other people do. But again, obviously other people are saying it's because of a word snowflake. Apparently you're not allowed to use the word snowflake on Twitch, which again could also be a very, very valid reason as to why you got banned. Do I think it should be a reason to get banned on Twitch? No, of course not. But again, let's not go ahead and point the fingers at every single content creator in the space. I know it's very heated at the moment. I know a lot of people are angry. I know a lot of people want to start war, and it's been a very, very heavy topic that has been going on in the community recently. And well, yeah, it seems like, you know, it's going to get a little bit worse. Obviously, Saint saying it might be the, you know, move to go live on YouTube for the rest of the days, which again, a lot of people do to kind of avoid bans and stuff like that, which again, I think is definitely the best move for Saint, as, you know, he's pivoted a lot of his content over to stream-based content. Obviously, if you guys remember the OG Saintontas videos where he scripted them and actually did like highly edited stuff, he still highly edits them, obviously. Well, you know, gets editors to do or whatever. But again, I feel like, you know, maybe he's going to switch over to YouTube for these 7 days, and it's going to be very exciting, well, I say exciting, interesting to see the response that he gives, because I feel like it's going to go pretty nuclear. Now, I don't think there is any evidence out at the moment to suggest that any of these content creators are the ones that caused this, any of these content creators are brigading, or even if it's any of the kind of communities of these content creators acting on their own. I don't think there is any evidence at all. I feel like this is just a kind of situation where everyone's heated, okay? And I said that, you know, previously. Everyone is heated. Everyone wants to go at everyone's throats, you know, because, you know, they did this, they did that. Let's wait for the facts to come out. Let's wait for Saint's report to come back, because usually Twitch do give you a kind of reason as to why. I hope they do, at least. So again, it'll be interesting to see if they do give a reason behind that, because maybe it is the case that he just genuinely broke a rule on Twitch, which could be, you know, pretty crazy. But yeah, I'm pretty disappointed about this one clip here. Obviously, a lot of people saying, I know the context of this, but I don't know why Saint saying this is him being out of line. Am I missing some hidden lore? He's saying he S6'd a child over anyone else. Thinks, why would he say that, and rolls his eyes. Which again, I feel like a lot of people, I don't know. I feel like, you know, it's not the end of the world to call someone something like that. But again, for someone like Jenazad, who again, like, frequently interacts with the community and stuff like that, I feel like it's just something you got to keep to yourself. But hey, you know, it is Saint. He does get pretty fired up on stream. But yeah, that is pretty much the entirety of the situation, if you guys wanted that little bit of extra context behind this, because it is a very, very interesting thing that's happened. And hey, I'll definitely keep you guys updated if anything is to happen later on. But yeah, that's all I got, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And also, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, get gamer subs, use my code Kazza. Also, get Happy Juice. I recently got Happy Juice. I can't pick it up, but I got Happy Juice. Get it with code Kazza. Anyways, bye-bye.